Hello, and welcome to this overview of the Cost History Report for Google Cloud. You can find this report by going to the navigation menu on the left-hand side of the screen, clicking on Reports, Cost, and History. To clarify, we are looking at the Cost History Report. The Cost History Invoice Report is another type of cost report in the platform. Both reports use the BigQuery export to analyze Google Cloud cost information. In simply looking at the Cost History Report, you may notice that it looks similar to the default Google dashboard when you first log into the platform. While the visualization of the data may look similar, there are two key differences between the dashboard and the Cost History Report. The first is that the Cost History Report includes dimensions and measures at the top of the screen. The second is, if you scroll down, you'll see that the information available in the visual at the top of the screen is also available in a tabular view. The tabular view of the data in the Cost History Report is ideal for those who just want to look at the numbers and don't necessarily need the visual representation of the data. Scrolling back up to the top of the screen, let's take a more in-depth look at the dimensions and measures. With its default configuration, the Cost History Report shows you your Google Cloud costs at a monthly interval for the past 13 months. You can drill down into the details of this report by applying a filter. Click on the Filters dropdown to see the full list of filters you can choose from. Say, for example, I wanted to look at my Google Cloud spend by a specific Google Cloud product. I can click on the plus sign next to the option for Cloud Products and then select the specific product I want to see cost history information for. As you can see, you can select from the product family or select a subset of each cloud product. If I wanted to see cost history for multiple products, I can select multiple options to filter simply by clicking on the checkbox next to each option. Once I've made my selections, I'll click on the Update button to apply the filter or filters, so then I can see the cost history data specific to the product or products that I selected under this filter. To remove filters and return the cost history report to its default configuration, simply click the red X within the Filters dropdown, and it resets the view. Filters allow you to focus this report among many different variables. If you wanted to look at the cost history for a specific cost center, a region, or a particular project, you can do so by applying a filter. In the Filters dropdown, some of the filters have a capital letter P next to them. That P stands for perspective. A perspective is a lens through which you view your Google Cloud information, and it provides a framework for categorizing all of the assets within your infrastructure. Sample perspectives may include environment, cost center, or application. It is important to note that perspectives are unique to each organization. As such, the options will vary based on how your organization has configured its perspectives. Perspectives allow you to organize the report view that best suits your needs. For example, if you're in finance and you want to look at cloud costs by a specific SKU, you could select the perspective for GCP cost by SKU to then narrow down this report to, let's say, the Google Kubernetes Engine SKU. Keep in mind this SKU perspective was built specifically for our demo environment. The perspectives at your organization are customized to your needs and may not match all of the perspectives shown here. Moving beyond the filters in the dimensions and measures, you have the option to look at your cost history by specific time intervals. Use the Interval dropdown to change the default monthly view to either weekly or daily. Weekly will show 52 weeks of costs, and daily will provide the last 61 days of costs. Next to the Interval dropdown are the options for the X and Y axes. You can change the default X-axis setting, which is months, to other options by using the X-axis dropdown. For GCP, the Y-axis is set to show total cost. Next is the Category dropdown, which organizes your data into groups. The category is currently set to bucket data by product category. If you want, you can change the category to group by other factors, such as billing accounts, projects, or regions. Additionally, there are a number of perspective views that you can select from to categorize your view. You have the option to change the chart type. If a bar graph isn't what you need, you can change it to an area chart, a pie chart, or a line graph. Please note that the chart type options will vary based on how you have configured the interval, X and Y axes, and the category. You can project out costs by using the forecasting tool. Under the Options dropdown, you can forecast out by a number of months. And you can select how to estimate this data by looking at, say, the last 3 months, 6 months, or the last year of your Google Cloud costs. So if I wanted to project out my costs for, say, the next 3 months, and base it on the past 3 months, I could do so by setting the values here. It is also important to note that the forecasting options will be different based on how you have set your time interval. Let's look at a use case scenario for the cost history report. Simply with looking at the bar graph, it looks like the dark blue represents my biggest GCP spend each month. You can identify what product category this is by looking at the color key in the legend, or you can hover over the bar and a pop-up will appear. I can see that we spent $3.56 thousand in May 2022 on Compute Engine virtual machines. If I wanted to see the second highest costs, I can remove Compute Engine VMs from view by clicking on the blue box in the legend. Now I can see, especially for the last 6 months, that the Compute Engine GPU is the second highest spend. Let's add the Compute Engine VMs back to the report by clicking on the legend again. If I wanted to narrow this report to see if my monthly Compute Engine VM costs are trending roughly the same each month, I can shift-click on the blue box in the legend. Now I only see total cloud costs for Compute Engine VMs. After a small dip in September, it looks like our costs are rising each month. That tells me I should do some investigating to see what is contributing to the increase in Compute Engine VM spend. To restore the view of the report, shift-click again. You'll notice that in this report, there are bars extending below zero, representing a negative dollar amount. The negative amount reflects different credits received, often through sustained usage discount mechanisms. After you have configured all of the options within the cost history report, you can save the modified report by clicking on the Actions dropdown and selecting Save As. This report, with its customizations, is then available to view under Reports and Saved Reports in the navigation menu. Additionally, you can download the visual as a PNG or export the data as a CSV. You can also share this report through a unique link. If you have made customizations to the report, they will be included in the unique link that you can share with other users in your organization. Next to Actions, you have the option to subscribe to the report. You can have this report run and emailed to you or to others on a regular basis. You must, however, save the report in order to subscribe to it. And that completes this overview of the cost history report for Google Cloud.
For more information, detailed videos, and blogs about all Aria Suite products, please visit apps-cloudmanagement.techzone.vmware.com or simply scan the QR code to learn more.